life on other planets? Do you think there's life on other planets?
Oh, I don't know.
Would you like to think about it for a second?
Oh, not really.
Tell me, do you think there is life on other planets?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I suppose it would be.
No, he seems definitely. You seem definitely. How do you see this life and where?
Oh, it's in a flying saucer.
You've seen one?
Yes,
Where was
definitely. At Lane Cove,
When was this?
1953.
You don't think this is a figment of your imagination?
Several other people with me saw it.
You all had the same figment. What did it look like?
It was standing up there still,
Just suspended in space.
with colours coming out.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and the first official episode for the Barn Find 325 IS. If you guys tuned into a previous episode, you would know that I sold my 325 IS, the Evo2, and we are currently in the process of restoring it, and the car will be shipped in 6 months' time to the UK, where I will fly over and do an official handover for the car. So the work has started already. Currently the vehicle is being stripped. I can't tell you how excited I am because since I owned the car, I always wanted to do this restoration. But as you guys know, I never have time to restore my own cars. So it's actually very exciting because I'm getting to restore a car that I always wanted to restore. So the process we're following now is the car is currently in our panel beating and preparation workshop, separate workshop. You guys would have seen on our previous episodes as well. We change workshops around. So the car is being stripped to a shell, literally a shell. So every part is basically going to come out of this car. And then we are going to start with the panel beating process and the restoration process. So I want to show you guys some of the stuff that I've picked up already. So we've got a little bit of damage on the front cradle. So luckily I've got a very, very good champion panel beater that, guys, this man is like super talented. His name is Jose. You guys will meet him in a future episode. So when I showed him this, he said, no stress, boss, we can sort it out. So my stress is off. I know we can sort it out. The process we're going to follow is we're going to get a new front cradle and we're going to be replacing it. It's the easiest thing to do and the most effective thing to do. We are also going to be replacing 95% of the parts on this car with brand new parts. It's like any person that likes shopping. When the parts arrive, it's such an exciting moment. So that is what's currently happening now. Now we're busy stripping, getting ready for the panel beating process, and some of the parts have been ordered and have already been starting to arrive. I want to show you guys the body kit now. So this is the fiberglass skirts. Luckily I've got a nice set of skirts. So everything on the kit is plastic, right? We just got to play a little bit around to straighten the kit up, get the curves back. We're going to plastic weld and close the holes here. But we'll get the kit to fit perfectly on the car with some plastic welding and reshaping of the kit. Front spoiler is plastic as well. We're excited now because the process has started. So again, strip down process. I will show you guys some pictures of the car when it's completely naked, and then also show you guys some of the areas we're going to be repairing and also the process we're going to be following with the repairs. Now in my business, we have a certain flow that we try to achieve. So the idea is the car starts off first in panel beating, preparation and paint. Once we're done painting the shell, the car will then move on to the next door workshop. And we'll start the mechanical process by fitting in the new suspension, brake lines, etc. But my upholstery department is by far my best performing department. So if you guys are watching upholstery, you guys are legends. Not saying the other departments are not performing, but upholstery just whoops everyone every month for some reason. So upholstery has started with the seats. I'm going to take you guys upstairs now and I'm going to show you guys the seats. We're going for an OEM black leather to give it that OEM look. That is the request of the client. So follow me, let me go show you guys the upholstery. So now we actually almost done with the seats of the car. So upholstery, normally the process is paint shop, but while the car is in the paint shop, upholstery will start maybe before, just by doing the seats, the panels, the dash, stitching the roof liner, getting the carpets ready. So when the car is out of paint shop, we actually spend less time when we assemble the upholstery. So that's kind of like a method that works for us. So currently at this point in time, the seats have been stitched. Now you'll notice there's some creases. So what we do is we take a heat gun and we stretch the creases out so you get a bit of a smoother finish on the interior as well. So another thing we're going to be doing as well, all the clips and the handles on the side of the seat, as well as any components that we can refurb, is going to be changed, and that ensures that the car obviously has new stuff on it and it follows the restoration process correctly. We've also done the back seats. I want to show you guys the back seats as well. So your back seats are done, black genuine leather, and exactly to OEM style with the double stitch in the center. I kind of like it, and I think it's the perfect color and choice that the client has gone with, because again, the whole idea is for this car to be very close to original as possible. So everything from the wheels to the exhaust to the motor specifications, etc., is going to be as close to original, and in that way the car will retain most of its value. So we're making headway. Upholstery really knocked it out. Like I mentioned, they are my best performing department, so well done upholstery. So looking forward to it. Yeah, I hope you guys are excited as me, because I'm super excited. Next up, we're gonna be taking the motor out, and we'll strip it and send it to our good friends J&R Cylinder Head, Wayne and the brothers. They always do our engineering. I highly recommend them. Gentlemen of note, always willing to assist, etc. So we're excited for that. Okay guys, we're currently at the next phase of the Barn Find IS restoration. I've come to my go-to people in terms of engineering and life advice and holiday advice as well. I've got Wayne, one of the owners of J&R Cylinder Head Services in Wynberg. Wayne, how are you doing?
Fine yourself?
Lekker, man.
Thank you. Holiday advice. Always look forward to a good holiday. Work hard, play hard.
Of course, definitely. Dahlstrom is the place to be, according to Wayne.
100% fly fishing.
Definitely. Okay, Wayne, so maybe just give us a bit of background on your engineering experience.
Thank you.
I always love it when you tell people how long you've been in the game.
We learn every day. Let's begin by saying that. We try and educate ourselves with different motors, the latest stuff that comes in from our clients, our dealerships. And we love the things that you bring us.
Yeah.
Because it's the old school. Thank you. You've got to scratch the grey matter a little, trying to think of when last did I do one of those, what can I do to make power upgrades, etc.
Yeah.
So this is our 30th year that JR Cylinder Head Service has been operating.
Nice.
And family owned, same staff. A lot of the staff have been with us 20, 25 years.
Nice.
And we try and offer a good service with a decent price. But forget about that. What have you brought for us?
So I brought you, remember when you guys were at the shop? So I sold my Evo2 IS to a gentleman in the UK.
Okay.
So now we got to build the car. So this motor and this cylinder head and everything that you're doing is going to be going to the UK. So it's a proud moment for both of us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So come and go have a look at the motor.
Awesome. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is the one you posted on Facebook, the Barn Find.
The Barn Find, yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Nice.
Okay. Do you have any history on it? Is there anything you know about it?
No, so what I did is the initial cylinder head I took off. I've got one of my personal cylinder heads that I'm very confident in, that I'd like us to do a recon. So I want us to do a performance cam, because ultimately the Evo2 came with an Alpina cam.
Correct.
But throughout the car's life, unfortunately, parts went missing and not all the original parts are there. So now we got to get it close to original as possible.
Okay.
So I'd like us to gas flow the head,
yes,
and I'd like us to do a performance cam,
okay,
and then full recon on the block.
And on the block, are we going to do any sort of mods on the block?
I think we can just rebore
and stick to the original M20 2.5
Yeah.
and we'd rebore.
Yeah, if we can get a bit more power, because this is a Evo2,
Okay.
so we ideally want to try and get it as close to the 155 kilowatts as possible. So you can advise us what you think we can do. Client doesn't want to stroke the motor.
Okay.
He wants to try and keep it as original
As
as
original as
possible. So from the word go, I noticed pistons are wrong.
Yes.
IS pistons are flat.
So you don't even know if this was running or not?
No. I bought the car
Non-runner.
Yeah, non-runner.
So we'll strip it, we'll have a look. I'll give you all the feedback on what we find here.
Okay.
And we'll have a look. I'll make some phone calls
Yeah.
on an Alpina cam. I
Yeah.
spoke to a client about a week ago,
Yeah.
and he mentioned he had an Alpina head.
Oh, lovely.
So I said, please give me information.
Yeah.
So perhaps he hasn't sold it, perhaps
Yeah.
it's available,
Okay.
especially the camshaft.
Oh, perfect.
But I'll give you some feedback on that as well.
Yeah, look, if we can get that Alpina head and cam, I'll rather purchase it, keep this
Okay.
head one side, and we'll use the Alpina head for the
For that.
motor. Yeah.
Okay, that I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Try and keep it as authentic and as original as
Original
possible.
as possible. Okay, perfect. Anything else you want to tell us about the motor? Maybe you pick up, you can see it was standing.
Yes, we can. So what we look at, it's a bit dirty to tell now, but if we get the gasket set off, we all know that these heads are prone to crack.
Yeah.
From the head bolt to the water jacket over here, and visually at the moment it looks okay. We'll
Yeah.
confirm that, but I don't see any cracks at the moment, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
We can see it has blown a gasket. We can see over there.
Yeah.
That doesn't scare us at all. So provided the cylinder head, you're saying it is a good head,
Yeah.
provided we don't get the head that I can perhaps try and source.
Yeah.
Yes, we can make some power for you, and we can keep it as original
As possible.
as possible.
Okay,
Correct.
perfect. Do you want to maybe take us through a bit of what the process is when restoring a cylinder head and a block?
Can we walk while we do it, and I
Yeah,
can show
yeah.
you some of the machinery
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we use? I'll give you a rundown as to the procedure. And this is my better side.
Where's the brothers?
The one brother's here.
Mr. Don, how you doing? Come say hi to the guys on YouTube.
Hello guys on YouTube. How you doing? My name's Don.
Nice.
And
Lovely.
Smile.
I like that.
No stress.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Let's check the grey.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of this grey is from certain clients.
from me. Okay, so just to let you guys know, Wayne is normally the spokesperson. Don is the guy that fetches the money if you don't pay him. And the other brother,
That's why we
where's he?
He's the one we call him midlife crisis with the hair.
Good day. Yeah,
He's unfortunately not here. He's out collecting at one of our clients.
yeah.
We don't gas flow cast iron heads here. It's different bits, etc. So we use a friend in town, and he's gone to collect a good old-fashioned V6 Ford cast iron motor.
Nice.
Because it just takes too long to gas flow cast iron. We do the aluminium. We've done it for many years. We know the tricks. We know the power we can make with our flowing.
Okay.
So that's why it's not here at the moment. It's just the two. Don is the one that's been here 28 odd years. I joined Don 25 odd years ago, and I'd have no one other than my brothers. We're a close family.
Nice.
A lot of our clients say they enjoy the family unit.
Yeah.
Yourself
I
have
enjoy
mentioned
that
it
as well.
yourself.
Yeah.
But the 2 years apart, age-wise, is great as well. They're not only your brothers; they're actually friends. When we go on holidays,
Nice.
there's no, I want a holiday with my brother. Some guys say, "But you've spent the whole year with him."
But it's
Yeah,
different.
but it's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
We want to do, for example, we're doing the Sutu in September.
Nice.
First thing, Wayne, you going? Don, you going? Yes, right. Who's joining us?
Yeah.
That's how it is with us. So
Nice. Nice.
and you've known us a while now.
Yeah.
So you got to join us on one holiday as well.
So guys, we hear that I've been waiting for my brother application to be approved. I also want to be part of the brotherhood here. So I'm waiting. I sent my bank statements. I sent my CV, proof of res,
There
all
we
of
go.
it. I'm just waiting.
to the EFT for the membership fee.
Yeah.
With us, it's not about the money; it's about character.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
100%.
Okay, follow me. I'll show you the process. So as any motor, any head comes into our shop, it goes to the back of the shop. We strip the head, we strip the motor there. The air you can use, we sandblast certain heads, we clean them. You can see my guys stripping at the back there, this heads that have come in this morning. From there, we would pressure test if it needs a pressure test. That's our pressure test bench over there. Unfortunately, there isn't a head on it at the moment for us to demonstrate how we pressure test. From the pressure test, it comes to just behind Chip over here. This is our assessment bay, and only Don and myself will assess a block or assess a head where we check the valve guides, we check the valves, we check head thickness, general condition of the block, we measure the bore, we measure the crank, we measure the big end housing, we measure end float if there's any worn thrust on the crank. From there, we would then send you a quote. From that quote, you would quote your client. 2-3 days later, we get go ahead from you. Then the process really starts. So prior to that, all we're doing is quoting.
Yeah.
When you give us go ahead, we have over here 2 surface grinders. Depending on what it is, cast iron. Some of them are mixed alloy. We skim the head on that surface grinder. If it's just pure aluminium, we skim it on this surface grinder. From there, if it's a go ahead on the block, Farai, one of our staff members here, he does our reboring. So that block now, for example, is going to be put on the reborer, and we would then cut to size. So whether we're doing a mod as the Super Boss mods we've done for you, from an 84mm bore to an 86mm bore, this is the machine that does it. Nice, reliable, old-fashioned Burco. And then from there, once we go to size, it will come to this machine over here, which is a honing machine. We would then hone it to that final size with that cross-hatch pattern you see in the bore, and that's what your rings bed into. And then a good quality ring, and there's your power. You won't have loss of compression, and we'll make sure that it's sealing 100%. From there, we jump to the head side, so we're going to go back to the front of the shop. Yeah, this side of our shop is where my brother Don works primarily, and as you can see, he's at the moment busy working on a V10 BMW, which you would love. No, it's a V10. You can have a look over there. So that is our finished product that Don is now going to check oil clearances. So we will fit the bearings. We do the oil clearance on the big ends. He fits the bearings, checks oil clearance on the main, check end float, and checks ring gaps. And then this particular client, Billy, the BM guy, he wants to assemble himself. One of those, a lot of our clients saying, I trust no one other than myself to assemble a motor. And we love that in our clients. And then just as a matter of interest, that's one of yours we're working on.
Oh, yes.
That is Bling's one.
Okay.
And that is Zane.
Perfect.
So these are the 2 we're working on for you.
So Zane, if you're watching, your motor's almost ready. And Bling, your motor's almost ready. I think we're waiting for a few more.
We're waiting for a crankshaft and 6 rods.
Okay.
And my guy said he may have, you and I will discuss that.
Okay.
He may have a crank and he may have 5 to 5 rods. So we'll talk about that.
Okay.
This one will be ready in the course of this week.
Bling, I hope you're ready, bruh.
And then we've done the small end bushes. So over here, you can have a look. This particular conversion, this gudgeon pin, is a different size to BMW's gudgeon pin. And then we go ahead and fit and make these bushes to suit the gudgeon pin on the modified piston. That's all. That will be dealt with a little bit later this week.
Okay.
And then
so
we can.
This one possibly in this week.
Correct.
This one possibly following week, provided we get crank and.
Yes, crank and rods. Everything else is done. As you can see, we've removed the Welsh plugs.
Okay.
We want to put new Welsh plugs. Older motors, you don't want to take a chance.
Yeah.
You don't want to do all this work and then it overheats because of faulty Welsh plug, a rusted Welsh plug.
Yeah.
So we replace them all.
Perfect.
And these are other blocks and jobs that we're waiting clients, parts, usually parts. South Africa has a big problem with parts at the moment. We've had this discussion. And that is a problem which I hope is solved in the future. So many jobs are held back because this is coming from Cape Town. This is coming back order. I'm sure you've heard that word 1,000 times.
Brother, you know how many times we're supposed to finish cars. You can't because you're stuck, you're waiting for parts. So it makes it quite difficult. And so parts is not only a problem in new cars, but old cars, vice versa.
Let me give you an example. So we did a head for a client on a BMW.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just think which one it was.
Yeah.
It'll come to me. There are no parts available. You couldn't get valve guides, you couldn't get valves.
Yeah.
That was what I think, I can't remember now. Nothing's available.
Yeah.
I've got to go back to the client and say, sir, I've exhausted 3-4 days of trying to source. No one's got, we may have to put back your old valve, which I prefer to replace, but there is no choice. We don't like doing that. Or as a last resort, we have valves made.
Yeah.
But then the cost is horrendous.
Yeah.
So what do? Make a decision. The client says, but the car's not even worth the cost of reconditioning the head.
Yeah.
And that's where we're battling at the moment. I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, it's similar. Like, I mean, when we did the Volvo, we struggled. Remember, we couldn't get
100%,
parts.
yeah.
Eventually, I had to phone the client and tell the client, look, I can't get parts. There's someone else that can do it, and we had to give the car back. The two Mercedes-Benz, the 108 and the 250 Coupe, that also we couldn't get parts. And the risk is if you import from overseas and they give you the wrong part, you kind of lost your money because of the procedure to send the part back. And also our wonderful postal service, that takes a very long time for parts to come. So there's a lot of challenges when you are not only building old cars, but also new cars as well, you know. So, but we soldier on, Wayne.
100%.
Yeah.
We haven't given up, and we won't give up.
Yeah.
We won't give up.
Definitely.
I won't tell you how old I am, but we're old school.
Yeah.
Excuse the mess. We're busy doing a bit of a clean out as well, because we may be moving premises still in Wynberg, but just down the road. So let's carry on. The go ahead on the head, if I'm not gas flowing the head, which is at the back of the shop, we keep the front of the shop as clean as possible. This is where we're assembling, same as where Don does the blocks.
Yeah.
That's clearances. You don't want any form of dust, contamination, etc. So this is the 3060, is what we use to cut valve seats.
Yeah.
If you have a look over here, we're busy working on a M3. So that's an E36 M3 stock head that we have.
Okay.
And someone dropped the valve, over revved, hit pistons, and we're going to do that, and that will be on Facebook shortly for sale.
Okay.
They have become scarce, and so these as well, which is an M52,
Okay.
also become scarce. Very common that they crack from water to.
That's what head is that?
So this will be a 328 E36.
Okay.
So
They are sensitive, ne?
correct.
Yeah.
But once the repair is done, it never cracks there again.
Is it?
So it may crack elsewhere,
Yeah.
but that weld is so strong, it's a fault in the mold.
Okay.
Look at your M20s, like you've brought me now.
Yeah.
They're prone to crack along the cam side.
Yeah.
Now, if you remember back in the day, Alert Engine Parts used to sell aftermarket heads.
Yeah.
They never cracked. The original BMW cracked.
Sure.
So obviously some sort of fault in the mold, or
Yeah.
I wouldn't say fault, I'm sure BM wouldn't like me to say that.
Yeah. And we're
So-
trying to get sponsorship.
Yeah, we love BMW.
BMW.
And then this is our two assembly bays. We have two permanent head assemblers, and this is where we would assemble the heads. We have the quick way machine over there, which is where we reface valves, and this is the side of the shop where,
The clean work.
correct, but our staff member would call us. They don't just assemble. We get to a point where there are certain checks that Don and I do
Yeah.
that are very important.
Yeah.
Checking valve stem seals. It's great that the staff member puts it on. Fantastic, he is qualified.
Yeah.
But the sort of company we run, we want to make sure
Yeah.
that when I give you that head, that seal is on 100%.
Yeah.
When we do the leakage test, Don and myself are present at all times, present. We don't want a phone call saying there's a misfire,
Yeah.
valve's not seating properly.
Yes.
And if there is, we try our best to deal with it as best and as quickly as possible.
Of course. We experienced that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And we try and get it back to you. If I have to supply a gasket, some labor, next job on the house,
Yes.
that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
And then, for example, this is now Bling.
Yeah.
So there's Bling's head. That's ready to go. It's ported, it's polished, it's ready to go.
Right.
Camshaft cut, it's good to go.
Right.
Once we finish that bottom end in this week, we're good
Perfect.
to give you a shout, and then you can come collect.
Perfect.
And then once we final stage, all the heads that are assembled and blocks, depending on what we're doing,
Yeah.
We then do a final inspection by Don or myself, making sure everything cotters are in place, caps are numbered, because all cam caps have a sequence and they're numbered. And then these, for example, are all good to go to a client. This is the one bank of the V10 you saw, and there's the other bank of the V10. I'm going to have a look at those now, and then we'll wrap them.
Get them. So once it's wrapped, sticker is on,
Yes,
ready to go.
ready to go.
Okay.
We then either deliver or the client collects or whatever is their best. And then the last thing that we do is, if you can have a look here, just behind this, I'm sure you're aware of those N20s, those BMWs.
Yeah. The infamous.
Well, we don't like it, but we have to skim the block face.
Yeah.
So if you have a look here, we've skimmed the block face and the cylinder head. This particular client, unfortunately, times are tough in South Africa,
Yeah.
and he couldn't afford a full recon.
Yeah.
So it was just a skim on the head and a skim on the block and a pressure test.
Okay.
And we're finding today there's more and more, I won't use the word patch up because that's unfair. It's not a patch up.
Yeah.
People, times are tough.
Yeah.
People are battling.
Yeah.
A recon versus, please sir, just make it run.
Yeah.
And that's where we're facing a lot of that today. Where I cannot afford that. That's a 10,000 rand job.
Yeah.
And the gentleman says, but I'm a sales rep. This is my livelihood. I need to get on the road.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm positive. I believe things will change. Things,
No, it will. It will.
all three of us as brothers, as a family, I still love this country, Chip.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sure.
definitely.
I have, and I'm going to show you guys. Have a look there. The city of Joburg on my chest.
Oh, nice.
I'm a Joburger through and through.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to Cape Town or George or semi-great somewhere.
Yes.
We are staying here, and JR Cylinder Heads will be in Joburg for as long as I'm alive.
Nice.
And in that case, we'll pass it on to the next generation.
Of
you know.
course. No, definitely.
So, thank you for visiting us. Thank
No
you for bringing
problem.
us another job.
No problem.
Sorry for dominating.
No, that's what I wanted. I love
That's my personality. I can't help it. And
Okay.
love your channel.
Thank you.
I watch it all the time.
Nice.
I must come up with a channel.
Yeah.
And then Chip and I discussed, I know this is not related, but we are going to do that promo.
Yes.
We're going to give away a free gas flow.
Yes.
So you're going to choose the client. We're going to take it out of the draw, and some lucky guy from Chicanos is getting a free flow.
100%. One of you subscribers.
Yeah.
Keep watching. You guys are on social media as well, eh?
We are on Facebook, correct.
Okay, JR Cylinder Head Services. Go give them a follow, give them a like. Any engineering work you guys need, please come speak to Wayne or one of the brothers. I promise you, I've been building cars for a very long time. I've come across, I won't say bad, but I've come across problematic engineers, and we've had instances where work has come from other engineers and we've had to redo it as well. So that's this game. Luckily, we found Wayne found us. I'm happy doing business with Wayne, and I highly recommend his services.
Thank you.
And once again, free gas flow on the house. I think maybe when we start the SEMA build,
Okay.
we can run a competition. So the SEMA build is going to be starting very soon. So you guys must please check that out. And we're going to run a competition to give one of you lucky guys a free gas flow
Awesome.
on the house. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Wayne, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
You're a legend. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you for the support.
No problem. Anytime. I'll catch you guys soon.
I suppose it would be.
No, he seems definitely.
Definitely.
How do you see this knife and where?
Oh, it's in a flying saucer.
You've seen one?
Yes,
When was
definitely. At Lane Cove,
When was this?
1953.